Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is the Big Girl Diary Celebrity Mess, and it is a mess. Kim K. Her past is her present. How is she going to get through this one? In the news, not only in the news, but her son Saint was playing a game on an iPad, Roblox, some kind of game, and Saint came up to Kim and said, "Oh, mommy, look, look, look!" Showed showed Kim uh, the iPad, and she said, "Press it." He pressed it, and he's sitting there laughing. I do have the video, but the video is just no good. I tried. I need to get a new computer and upgrade my audio. Seriously. Um, I digress. And when Saint pushed the button, it opened up and you saw a thumbnail of her crying, and then it said Kim Kardashian sex tape. And she got up and I gotta say, she kept it together. She didn't let her child know that she was stunned. She called her sister Chloe. They go in a room and she just start crying and telling her what it was. And what I found, and then she calls Kanye. Kanye talks to her and calms her down, and he took measures. I'm not sure what those measures were. And on the video, another part of the video, it showed to where she was talking to someone saying how she was going to sue, and even told her child, "Well, if they have my image, my likeness on here, I gotta sue." I'm just not understanding where she is here. It's like she's so removed from reality, so removed. Now, there's a whole lot to unpack here, a whole lot. So I'll start off like this. Imagine this. Imagine you are a young girl. You come from an upper middle class family. Father's very, very successful, a successful lawyer, well educated. A mother, siblings. At some point, the father dies. And with the father being gone, there's some rebellion. Now, the mother remarried, keep imagining this, remarried before the father died, um, just rebelling, and you're hanging out with very rich people like Paris Hilton or whomever's big in your eyes, and you're hanging out with them. You're in the it crowd, and being in the it crowd, you do the it things to be accepted by the it crowd. Imagine that. You're still upper middle class. You're not rich, rich, rich. You're just rich. But imagine you aspire to be more. You aspire to be known. You aspire to have your own money, a lot of money, to be known and to be wanted by any guy. Imagine you achieve that through a sex tape. which at some point you negotiated and made money off of it. Made money off of it. And at some point you accepted it. You bit the apple. You bit of the apple, you bit it, and everything opened up to you. And it was fine. You're walking around wearing next to nothing. You are every man's fantasy. You marry, divorce, and at some point you marry again. And by this time, you marry a guy that's really into you. And actually, you have more than him. And you're very wealthy. And he's an up and coming rapper. But you believe in him and you give him money, and he becomes the biggest rapper. He is a genius. Everybody wants to work with him. He's loved all around the world. And at some point within that time frame, you marry him. You have children. And one day you are in in the house with your family and friends having a small gathering and get together. And your child comes up to you with an iPad and say, "Hey, mommy, look at this." And your child pressed the button, and what opens up is your past, right there in your face, staring at you. Your child holding the iPad and unaware of what the thumbnail said. It just saw mommy crying. Oh, mommy, see you crying. But wasn't able to read Kim Kardashian sex tape. Just imagine that. I do not believe, truly do not believe, the way Kim lived her life. It seemed like that it was on automatic pilot. Just here, there, go to strip clubs, be seen, get paid, going here, getting paid while going up the ladder, continuously taking more bites of the apple. The more you ate of the apple, the more rich and famous you become. You get a show, people around you, people love you, people hate you, people envy you, people envy you. Sorry about that. People want to be you, talk shows. Everybody wants to piece of you. You still bite of that apple. But you're looking at that iPad, you're looking, and you see the beginning, the very beginning of where you began, looking at you while your child is holding the iPad. Wow. Wow. I could only imagine the horror in her face. Just if my child would have pressed that button, my child would have seen me naked and possibly having sex. Everybody's seen it. That happened 20 years ago. 2000, what, 2003? 19 years ago. Poor thing, she just started crying, talking to her sister. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Another sex tape. She thought a part of her life, that was over. That was squashed. Sex tape gone. Got over it, humiliating, done. So she thought. Another one looming around. Who knows where that came from? Was it added footage? Was it another tape that she didn't know about? Was she with him other times before the sex tape came out or after? That is a rabbit hole you'll just never know. But let's just unpeel this. Unpeel this. Pull the onion back. Who is Kim Kardashian? When you think of Kim Kardashian, what is the first thing that pops into your mind? And be honest. Be honest. Please be honest. Whenever I think of Kim Kardashian, I think of that sex tape. I think of that sex tape. And it's unfortunate. I think of her. I think that whenever I see her, she looks like a porn star. She looks like, that's how she looks. Very, very skimpy clothes. She doesn't dress modest. Wears a lot of makeup. Always ready. It's like she's always camera ready. Always camera ready. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody were to turn on the light while she's sleeping. She looks at. I could imagine her doing that. 20 years of smiling and being on a man's arm, spending all time just being beautiful. That's it. I mean, it's like she's rich, but why? Why? I mean, what talent does she have besides the sex tape? Besides the sex tape, what talent does she have? She gained all that money. To my understanding, she was in a couple of movies, and just looking at her on doing reality, it doesn't seem real. It is what it is. It doesn't even seem real. But her whole life, not her whole life, her 20s, I believe, she's what, 41? All this time in front of the camera, social media, clicks. That's how she makes her money. Social media. She has to stay relevant. And someone said these two young men, I try to use their video. I'm using um StreamYard, and I couldn't bring their video onto StreamYard. They broke it down. I mean, these young guys give me hope. These Gen Zs give me hope because they just broke it down. The first part, when a child was on the internet and playing a game and saw that, the first thing they said, the one young man said, "You made Kanye look crazy because he wanted blocks, the internet to be blocked to where they would not be able to see certain things." And Kim was, saying, "Oh, well, not saying, but she gave the appearance that he was crazy. He was being overprotective. He was being this and that and that. He was protecting his children from his ex-wife's past." Apparently, it never occurred to her that that would come up at some point. Too busy biting the apple, living in la la land while Kanye is feet firmly on the ground saying, okay, this is what I married. I married a woman that everybody saw her nothingness. Everybody saw her do things in a bedroom. That's what I fell in love with. That's what I married. That's what I have children with. And I have to protect my children from my ex-wife's past. I mean, Kanye, he was telling people, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Stop talking about her. Oh man. And it seems like that she had to bring her father into it to bring I don't know if okay, how can I say this? Oh, how can I say this without sounding like a jerk? How can I say this? It almost seems like she brought Robert Kardashian up because he was a prominent, powerful lawyer who wanted to do good. And it was her way of giving back by getting people out of jail that do not belong in jail. That's what Barry Sheck been doing for about 20 years, getting people that were wrongfully convicted, getting them out of jail. Barry Sheck was also on the Dream Team, and he's doing some great work. Now, what Kim is doing is she's getting people that did what they were convicted of, did the crime, but getting them off. Okay. I'm not going to make a judgment call on that. I think maybe she could help out Barry Sheck because he's doing great work, getting people who were wrongfully convicted, did not do the crime, spend years and years in prison fighting to get a trial to be proved innocent. What is it, Project Innocence? I don't know, but she's trying. I think she's trying to find a way to show relevance, make her whatever. But it comes back to the children. Look, you can never escape your past, especially when it is out there like that. It's on one point in the video, she said, someone asked her, if your children ever ask you, how did you make your money? What would you tell them? She said, reality TV. When they start, you can't hide that. You can't hide that. I don't know if Kanye was able to squash the video. I don't know if he was able to do that or not. It calmed her down. Isn't it kind of funny how she didn't talk to her boyfriend? She didn't talk to her boyfriend. She went crying to her ex-husband. She went crying to Kanye, and Kanye, remember, he's crazy and unhinged. Keep that in mind. Kim, you put that out there. He's crazy and unhinged. Look, if he's crazy and unhinged, it's because of you. It's because of you. The way you lived your life, and he just loves somebody that is out there. You can't hide this. You can't. You cannot hide it. Now, okay, let me take that back. There are some things you can hide. Some things you can hide, but it has to be only you know, or maybe one or two people may know who would take it to their graves. Um, there's what, 8 billion people on Earth, and how many of them singing a sex tape? You don't even have to speak English to see it. So let's just be conservative and say that 7,999,000,000. I'm so silly. I'm so silly. Okay, that's poor taste. But you can't hide. You cannot hide from your past. If you made your money off of a sex tape and she got like what, five, what, a little around $5 million for it, and Ray J got his cut. I don't know. I don't know if Ray J released it because he said he didn't. Kim said that she didn't. But it's interesting how both of them profited from the sex tape. I didn't hear of anybody saying, "Yeah, I released it. I got all this money. I got all this money." No, didn't see it. Just the two of them were able to profit from someone, some guy. But look, people, people, be careful what you put on social media. Be careful when you were young. Be careful how you portray yourself. Because at some point, you're going to want to get married and have children. And unless if you're a nympho, unless if you're a nympho, then it's not going to bother you. But if you are not, you might want to care about how you present yourself to your family, to your community, depending on how far up you want to go. Be careful how you present yourself. And if you're presenting yourself with a sex tape and then you're out there and you're in Hollywood and you're dating this person, you're marrying and you married that person and then that relationship breaks up and then you marry that person and then that relationship breaks up and then you manage to marry someone like Kanye who really, really loves you despite how you got there, sees you, and then battles the world to protect your honor. But the thing is, you didn't protect your own honor. Stuff like that drives people crazy. Just knowing that men have gone to war over women. We just look at Jada Pinkett and Smith and Will Smith. He goes up and just keep my wife's name out of your mouth, kind of stuff. And I gotta say, Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh man, that is a whole other ball of wax. That is just some wild stuff right there. I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Well, I mean I have, but in this case, no. You can't outrun it. The, you can't. The internet, it stays forever. Be careful what you put on it. And if you live your life that way, what do you expect? You can't hide that from your children. You just can't. Your children, at some point, they're getting older. Oh, and Kim made a comment how thank God that Saint can't read. Well, he's what, 5, 6? He should be reading by now, but at some point, he's going to be reading soon. And it's going to be out there. He can squash it someplace, knowing that some freakazoids downloaded onto their computer. It's going to come up somewhere. You can't hide that. The only thing that you can do of really dealing with it, not suing someone and not telling your children, but you have to sit down and say, okay, I got to say, Angelina Jolie said it best. She was being interviewed, and someone, I can't, it wasn't, can't remember the person who was interviewing her, but he asked her, he said, when your children get older, what are you going to tell them about yourself? And she said, exactly what I did. I walked around with blood in my necklace. That's all I mean, I got to tell them the truth. And the truth will make you free. It won't set you free. It will make you free. There's a big difference between those two sayings. I'm not even going to get into it. But it will make you free. And when she sits down and talks to her children and tells them who she was then and who she is now, that's going to have to happen at some point in bits and pieces. But just to sit there and say, I made money from reality TV, I made money from, going places and people paid me to be interviewed and that is not going to work. You can't hide it from them. I mean, just imagine this. Imagine you're in school and this is a true story. You're in school and you're doing a project and you're looking up missing and exploited children and you're like da 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 da, and then you're like, this is me. I'm missing. Why am I on this? I'm missing. They're going to see it. They're going to see their mom at some point. You better get in front of it. They're going to see you, Kim, getting smashed. Just like this, this porn star decided she did not want to do porn anymore and she wanted to get married and have the children. And I can't remember her name. I just remember reading it and hearing about it. No, I'm sorry, it was in a video. And she married an Arab man. The most conservative people in the world, in my opinion. Some people might have other opinions. This is my opinion. The most conservative people in the world, she marries an Arab man. And they are in maybe 5 years into their marriage. And one of his friends said, hey, I got to show you something. That's your wife. Imagine the horror. Imagine the horror. Knowing that, one, they normally do not marry outside of their culture. They would marry someone that is in their culture. That porn star was so far from Islam, so far from so far from it. He divorced her, called her everything but the child of God. Just divorced her. She thought that she could hide her being a porn star. look, when you do stuff like that, people just have a perverse desires. And who could only imagine the perverted things she was doing to get people to watch and to buy the videos? Look, you can't run from your past. You just can't. Whether if you were running around beating people up or if you um, were on drugs so bad to where you did wild things for a certain period of time, or if you were a serial dater every 3 weeks you had a different boyfriend, or you were a guy and you just smashed everybody in a small town and probably a couple of grandmothers as well. I mean, you can't hide that. You can't, because people will talk. People will talk, and especially when you matriculate through school. Just, oh my goodness, school. School. Oh, wow. Um, you plan on putting them in private school and not let them know who you are? It's going to be ugly. Kids are cruel, they're mean, and they are destructive to other children's psyche. And that is recess for them. It is what it is. And that's if you homeschool, then there you would have complete control. And even then, when they get out and matriculate through the world, they're going to find out, devastated, that their mother, at the age of whatever that sex tape was. I mean, I look at let me see, who was it first? Paris Hilton. She was the first one of them, and then she blew up and became relevant. Really, well, now she's a businesswoman. She has clothing lines, but she just was lost in the sauce for a long time. Lost in the sauce. So there's a lot to learn from Kim Kardashian. A whole lot to learn, and young people, be careful what you do. Be careful what you put on social media. Your reputation means something. It means something, because at some point you will be someone's mother and you will be someone's father. And one thing children want, imagine this. I'll use myself for an example. I was I live in the DMV area, and I was out talking to some friends. It was a bunch of us, and a bunch of us women. We were there talking, and my son was saying, "My mom is over there," and it's like, "Where?" He goes, "My mom is the woman with the headband, the long hair. She's wearing this and this, little pudgy woman. That's my mom right there." Pointed me out, said what I look like. The last thing a child wants is to say, "My mom is over there." Where? Oh, she's over there amongst those ladies. Give them the general direction, but not pointing you out to where you're separated from everyone else there. That is my mother. There are just some things you can't run from. And like, what's her name? Uh, um, what was it? Porn star Jenna Jamerson, I think. She had twins, and she married an MMA fighter. And she who asked her? Someone asked her about her being a porn star. I don't think it ever hit her. She just started crying. When when you live that life, and I don't think Kim Kardashian wasn't okay. Maybe a brief moment in porn by that tape being released. I don't know if that was revenge. What? Who knows? People do terrible things to people. Who knows? But it's out, and she built a career out of it. She bit the apple and she kept on eating the poison apple. You cannot unbite it now. Okay, I'm not going to preach on that. I'm not going to be preachy, even though I was. um, but there's a lot to take away from Kim Kardashian's situation. It's just going to be a matter of time until her children find out. And what's going to be worse? This is going to be worse. Is that at some point Kanye is not going to love her the way he does. He's gonna, just and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. He's gonna find a woman who's the complete opposite of Kim. Somebody whose feet that is firmly on the ground, and this is what I'm projecting. Feet is firmly on the ground, level-headed, and has something to offer besides what she offers, making them crazy, making them look bad. And plus, Kim is what, 41? She's not getting any younger. And she's dating her boyfriend. Nobody was looking for Kim. No other rapper or somebody on Kanye's level. Nope. She had to go down to somebody younger and less known. It's downhill from there. Downhill. So Kanye, he's going to have a bunch of women knocking on his door. Hi, I'm here. Yeah, he only goes up. She, she's done. Yep, 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 yep. They call that what? Hitting the wall. Well, oh man, there's a lot to take from that. There's so many other layers. I mean, you could look at her behavior by looking at her mother, how her mother pushed her into that. I just the whole family. Just when you look at them, I don't even see real people. I just see all this surgery done. I don't see human beings, and they are so far removed from reality to where everything is a click. Like when Chloe, when was it Chloe or Courtney, whoever married Odom, he's in a hospital fighting for his life, and she only saw it as an opportunity to be in the media, for her to be seen as a doting wife on camera, not off, on camera. Clickbait. That's what they are, clickbait. That's it. Those poor children. What? Kanye. Oh, please get those children around normal people because that is not normal. They need They need normal, normal. So eventually Kanye is going to move along, get with someone who's normal. Those children are going to see normalcy, and he'll have more children, not with Kim, but more children that would be live a normal life, boundaries. Their mother, grandmother, Chris, no boundaries, zero. I remember she was on, oh man, mm, mm, mm. Was it The View? And she was replacing someone. Someone was sick, and Mario Lopez was being interviewed, and Kim talked about how she used to sneak out the window, go see a guy, go do whatever, and she was real wild and this, that, and the other. And Mario said, I never did that because I respect my parents' rules and boundaries. They gave me rules and boundaries, and I respected that. I never did that. And if you look at his life, he one person, children with one woman, and that was it. When you look at the Kardashians, it's like woof, everyone, everyone there between Caitlyn, Odom, Kanye. I mean, you don't make it out there unscathed. Okay, let me take that back. That was not nice. That back. But on that note, I'm going to conclude with this. I'll reiterate it. Be careful what you put out there when you're young. People have long memories, especially on social media. You don't need to have a long memory. You just need to learn how to click and live your life as a human being and on this reality, and not everything is clickbait. Because at some point, this internet is going to shut down, and if you make your whole life about clicks, not healthy. But on that note, help a sister out. Like, subscribe if you like my content. But most of all, I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you.